Now, I've always been a man to admit when I'm wrong. So we're coming back with another installment of the series where I correct my past mistakes, which is Red Eye Does Right Wrongs, also known as RDRR. So let's just jump in. Today I'm going to correct the record straight and tell you exactly why Dragon Ball Super is objectively the best Dragon Ball.
I dreamed about a Dragon Ball Super thing with colorful 2010s animation, and something about the galactic prisoner in his final form after eating 7-3. And it was on a green grass area like Namek or Earth, and blowing away the grass and light beige ground, like he was rising from it and there was a blue sky and white clouds. Fuck Dragon Ball Super. S35 Pan from DBGT OT DBAF using the ultimate Dragon Fist. Through Jiren, Wez, and Kefla from Dragon Ball Super. So what I'm thinking is, Bata 55 SFF, Pan on the far right, and Jiren, Kefla, and Whis lined up, and a dragon going through them with its head around Pan as if she was the dragon busting through them. Jiren, Kefla, Whis, Pan with dragon head phantom around her. Just saw the Dragon Ball superhero film. It's actually pretty cool. The CG is easy to adapt to. There's refs to Garlic Jr. and D-Bath. Piccolo is the real star of the film. Gohan's kind of a spaz, but doesn't ruin it. Good touches and comedy with action. It's Toriyama returning to Dragon Ball. Style? Also it's got kaiju parts and lore expanding past characters. Overall, I liked it. The best thing since the Broly movie. Maybe even better than it. Fuck Dragon Ball Super. Only Zoomer retards, like Super. It's every American parody of Dragon Ball turned into one series. At Yu-Gi-Oh! I used Archfiends. Round 1, my opponent didn't show, so I won. Round 2, I lost 2 Uta Labyrinth. Round 3, I lost 2 Arrow, but got close a few times to Branded. Round 4, I lost 2 Well to Yubel. I got a few cards. I wanted like Powered Crawler and Security Dragon, and had some nice duels that weren't with some devolved guy who sucks the fun out. I came in last place, but plan on changing my deck. Dreamed I was at this lake, and there was these black wood logs being moved out by some kind of underwater logging thing, like on a conveyor, but no belt, and the logs were moving. Me and my brother, or WE, were there, and these environmental guys were protesting, and I tried to get away and cover my identity. We went up these steps like at a courthouse, or library, or subway, that were like a bunch of lessening circles, going up to a door like a British telephone box. One part had me by this church and these effigies of people to remember them, and some were Sailor Moon, and some were burn victims with burned body areas. One part had me with Trump going around, and he was faking being old. And I said he was my grandpa cosplaying as Trump to keep under cover as we walked by people, as he had a cane and was hunched over in hand.
Honestly, the appeal of Dragon Ball to me isn't the fight specially, but the training and the characters constant want to get more powerful. If somebody likes Z, I'd imagine they would have to like Piccolo in Dragon Ball, because that fight is basically a Dragon Ball Z style fight. I've told him many times that he needs to watch Dragon Ball to see the character development, but he doesn't like that the show isn't literally just endless fight scenes. Oolong is my favourite Dragon Ball character, and he stops being relevant for a lot of it. This is great, it's literally just an excuse to bring back the classic characters the way they were in Dragon Ball. Sometimes Dragon Ball feels like a parody dub, because the characters will act really serious, then say something ridiculous. Bulma's always horny, but gets mad at other people for being horny around her, even in Z. When does he turn into a giant ape and fuck Bulma?
I watched Dragon Ball Super early in Japanese audio and I wanted to kill myself. Think Gohan, as Kid Gohan was a scaredy pants until he was trained by the green guy. Teen Gohan had determination or self-esteem problems over if he could trust himself, which eventually war caused him to grow up during the Cell games and put everything on the line. Adult Gohan just wanted a normal high school life, and to not cause any trouble until Majin Buu was resurrected, which caused him to treat him like another cell. Dragon Ball GT Super Adult Married Gohan just focuses on his job, lol. Is this right?
Like I said before, please do not listen to what Nick Pernice said. He passed away before the disbandment of the physical media community. Remember that Xander Lightfoot shot and killed him over criticism before America made a new law stating you can get permanently blocked for being a man-child. Not to mention, Xander had an idea to assassinate Mr. Crizzy, but his plans went cancelled after the police searched through Alex's house, where he was charged $500 million for counts of sexual assault towards Judy Hopps and Portia Cristal. Little do they know, an angry mob of American citizens insisted that there should be a graveyard for every innocent user in the physical media community once it gets disbanded. And the only way they can build one is to pay tributes to physical media and lose respect on them, and get into vinyl collecting after department stores stop selling them just because people prefer streaming, and every movie that comes out nowadays have no previews. This is 2024, which means physical media is no more for the whole world. A. Squidward, Larry's version, coming next week, and it's a 2000s greatest hits album.
Just because Dragon Ball Super is worse doesn't make GT good. Zombie Holocaust has some nasty gore from memory. Retarded Wizard in the Forest, Uwe Boll. Best line about late-night hosts, comedic or comediac? He joined this Discord just to gain intel on everyone here and is planning on writing a weird fanfic of everyone. I changed my mind. Marvel Studios' The Marvels is peak cinema. Martin Scorsese. My boy Squiggle cooked up this beat for me. I may be a faggot and a maggot, but what's the third thing you said? Alexander Hamilton. Don't mess with the women of America unless you want to get the benefits. Joe Biden.
Lanapata wore a Naruto headband with an American flag crossed out, implying he turned against America, which, considering him being friends with Kaiser Neko, kinda fits. If this were the 80s, he'd support the USSR. To troll message, Dear Kaiser Neko, it has come to my attention that I was assigned Polish at birth. And as a Pole, I know that you were assigned German at birth. Therefore, I request reparations for what your kind did to my kind in the 30s. My grandpa was a slave in 41 and worked on a farm for Germans. And while his owners were merciful to him, your kind still owes my kind to counter this injustice. It doesn't have to be monetary, there are some other way to reimburse me. I also find it ironic that people like Kaiser Neko whine of AI impressions and support the one being imitated taking them down, yet have faced constant copyright issues from companies they used actual footage of show made by and called unfair. It's pretty much just fan art but with aid, like auto-tuning or changing the pitch. Imagine if I used paint to draw fan art from DBGT and Toei filed a copyright complaint for it. While you may have good intentions for wanting to stand for an artist, it can open a Pandora's box that would do more harm than good.
You are definitely a goblin. You are a mythical creature that lives in caves mating with other fat goblins, and you are stalking Kaiser Neko in the shadows, writing a manifesto about him while masturbating to disturbing fat lady edits. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs. You can't make a tomelette without breaking a couple Gregs.
All right, happy April Fools, everyone. That's RDRR, hardy har har.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red Eye.